Hi, girls. Okay, so when we talked on the phone last night, we talked about the maple syrup that Papa and Grandma went and got, and we got you guys your own little jug, and you guys were curious on how to make maple syrup. So when we were out today, we found this coloring book, and it's called Welcome to Our Sugarhouse, and it's about making maple syrup. Now, it's a coloring book, so the pictures aren't going to be great, but I got two, so when I get back, I can reread the story for you, and then we can color the coloring books. Welcome to our sugar house. Welcome to our sugar house. Do you know what maple syrup is? It's the sweet stuff you pour on your pancakes and waffles and on ice cream. It's used in lots of things. My mom puts it on squash and in baked beans, and maple taffy tastes really good too. So there's a little picture of all the stuff they use for their maple syrup. I know what to do with it, but what is maple syrup anyhow? And where does it come from? She's very curious. Maple syrup is from a slightly sweet liquid called sap. It comes from inside of sugar maple trees. The sap runs through the insides of the tree just beneath the bark. In late winter or early spring, when the nights are below freezing and the days are mild. See, that's what the tree looks like. Maybe you have seen a maple tree in your yard. The leaves look like this. We'll drive around Cameron Park and we'll find a maple tree so we can look at it. This is a Native American legend about this discovery of maple syrup. A chief, Woosis, pulled his tomahawk out of a sugar maple tree where he had thrown it the day before. There he is. The weather got warmer that day, and the sap started to flow out of the cut in the tree, and it accidentally dripped into a trough near the trunk of the tree. Woosis' wife went out looking for water to cook their supper in, and she found the trough filled with this sap. It looked just like water, and she decided to use it. There it is. That's the trough. It's the little bowl. Woosef's wife boiled their meat in the sugary liquid. It filled the woods with the most wonderful maple smell, and Woosef couldn't wait to get home to eat his dinner. There she is cooking. It was the best meal he'd ever tasted. According to the legend, maple syrup was used from then on to cook with and to flavor foods. There he is, coming home for dinner. Today, maple sap is often collected in metal buckets. The cover on the bucket keeps the snow and rain out. When the time is right, the sugar maker drills a hole 3/8 of an inch in diameter into the maple tree. Should be at least 12 inches around and healthy. Each hole will give about 10 gallons of sap. 10 gallons of sap will make only about 1 quart of the finished maple syrup. So when we look at your maple syrup containers, we'll figure out how much sap was needed to make your maple syrup. The metal spout or spill is tapped snugly into the hole, and the sugary, watery sap drips out of the spout into the bucket. Most maple trees are at least 40 years old when they're tapped. Look what she's doing. When the buckets are full of sap, the sap is poured into a bigger bucket called gathering pails. I think we could do that. The gathering pails are emptied into a gathering tank. Most gathering tanks have a filter that removes debris from the sap. See? It keeps going from a small one to a bigger one to a bigger one. The gathering tanks are taken to the sugar house and emptied into storage tanks. They get to ride in a tractor with all their sap. Some maple syrup producers use tubes to carry the sap from the trees to the sugar house. Vacuum pumps pull the sap through the lines. Bema and Papa saw these. So these are like little hoses like your daddy uses outside to water the plants, and they're tapped into the trees. And when the sap drips, it goes into those lines, into those big containers. Let's see what's going on in the sugar house. Only one line leads to the sugar house. Follow it with your crayon. See? You guys will be able to do a puzzle. Steam from the boiling syrup escapes through the vent in the roof of the sugar house. When you see steam coming from the sugar house, you know maple syrup is being made. A hydrometer is floated in the sap to find the exact sugar content. The sweeter the sap, the less water will have to be evaporated to make the maple syrup. Coming from the tree, maple sap is about 98% water and 2% sugar. The evaporator is used to boil down the sap into maple syrup. Evaporators are made of one or more pans that sit on a firebox. So that's the pan, and underneath here is the firebox. Wood, oil, or gas is burned at the front end. Flames heat up the underside of the pans, and the sap begins to boil. The sap becomes maple syrup when it reaches 7.5 degrees above the boiling point of water and is 67% sugar. Then it is filtered and ready to bottle. Watch out, it's very hot. Maple syrup comes in different grades. A kit like this one is used to grade the syrup. So we saw one of these in the store. Each one of these holes shows what's inside the jars that are sitting inside of it, so they can see what color the maple syrup is and tell us what grade it is, if it's dark or light. The darker the color, the stronger the flavor. See, he's holding it up to the sun so he can see the different colors. Pure maple syrup has no additives or preservatives, which bottle of maple syrup is not pure maple syrup. All right, I'm not going to tell you, but it's another game that we can play when you guys get your coloring books. Some sugar houses make maple sugar candy. See? Hey, now I know where maple syrup comes from. And there she is, all happy with her maple syrup. That's going to be you guys, because we're going to give you your maple syrup. And then there's a game where you can just color your favorite thing. Thank you for visiting our sugar house. Come back and see us very soon. Hey. Yay. All right. So you both have your own coloring book. And when Bama and Papa get home, we're going to come over with them and we'll color and we'll talk about maple syrup, and I'll let you guys taste your maple syrup. I love you guys. Be good for your mom so we can come over and play when we get back. I love you. Bye.